Hello students, I hope you're doing well. This is your instructor for General College Biology 2, Dr. Maggie Gaddis. We are going to go on a tour of the course in this class and I'll offer in this video, and I will give you advice about how to navigate for your maximum success. So when you first come into class, you'll get this pop-up. Take a look at all these fun things, and these are also documents in your Start Here menu. All right, now on a normal day, once you've cleared that, you will land on the home page when you come to class. Notice here that there's a messaging tool. It's really best if you use this messaging tool to communicate with me because I come into the class, I address those messages first. That's just part of my practice. But messaging me in my external email is, something I do at the end of my effort, typically. So try to send your messages here in D2L. Also, you'll find my cell phone number, and you're free to contact me. I prefer that you text me, and be sure you tell me who you are because I won't know. And if you can ask the question that you have, that would be great because then if I don't know the answer right off the top of my head, I can solve it before I get back to you. All right, so always read the announcements that are available in the course. There's lots of them on this first day, and please take a deep look because this explains all about our lab kit. You purchased a lab kit when you registered for the course, and that lab kit will come on the drop date. Or it will be sent after the drop date, after the final census for the course. So the first couple of engagements in this part of the course don't require the kit, and you can access those things from inside the course. And then also we have a discussion that's always open that I'll show you in here just for your ease. I've linked it right to one of the announcements. So make sure you check out all of these announcements every time you come to class. And it's summer, and I am working as hard as I can to communicate with you, make it easy for you. So a lot of times I will put the same message in the announcements that's also at the top of the current discussion. And that way, if your practice is, takes you to the discussion first, you'll see it, or if you do read these homepage as I suggest, you'll see it there. So now let's look at this bar here, which I would call the main navigation bar. This is how you get into everything. And don't be fooled, it says assignments, discussions, but in these right here, you're not going to get the full detail about what that's about. So I recommend you always use content, and this is like taking you through the course as though it is a book. And you would start the book on page 1. And so here on the left, the table of contents curates the different chapters. So start here in the welcome start here menu. You'll see similar messages to the ones we saw in that opening pop-up. And when you are reading in the course, when you come back, whatever page you end on is the one that you'll see. And so in this way, flipping the pages is nice and helpful, and you know where you are in the process. When you get to a submission, it will stop that sequence. It's like getting to a different chapter, right? Here in syllabus and schedule, you'll find more course information, and you'll find our course schedule. I highly recommend that you take the time to put these dates into your phone calendar, or at the very least print this out, put it somewhere where you can see it all the time, like in the bathroom, so you can look at it while you're brushing your teeth. You'll notice that we have different modules, and they all all conclude in a quiz, and we always have a lab, a discussion, and reading in every module. And the thing that will be the hardest to keep control of in this guaranteed to transfer second semester biology for majors course is the reading. And so please just read at your own pace. Read all the time. Set a schedule for yourself. If you take a look at these modules in the 10-week schedule, you'll get a sense for how much you'll have to read a day. Um, yes, a day. You'll have to pretty much figure out how to incorporate that in every day so you don't fall behind. Notice that in Lab 2, there's a formal lab report, but in Lab 1, you're doing one of these lab sets within the course. All right, so back to the table of contents. Once you get into the modules, when you open the module from here, you get all the supportive information. If you just open the assignments, you just get the places where you need to submit. So as we did before, start at the top of the module, read through what's going on. The process of just reading pages like this really helps you to remember things because it is repetition. It is telling you the same things repeatedly in different ways, which helps you to learn. Okay, you get to your reading packet, and when you click on here, you're going to see that your reading opens in the course. This is a 68-page document. You could, at the very least, download it so you can have it during times when you don't have Wi-Fi, or download it on your phone. And you could also print it, but that would be probably a bit expensive. So in all of Module 1, just giving you a sense of that reading, this packet is 68 pages. So let's go back here and just take a look at when you will have to have read that by. So that quiz is on 6/17. So you have about 2 weeks to read 68 pages. So that should help you to understand what that reading load should be like. Once you go through that, you will progress into the assignments. And here we have more supportive information. And the exploration is what I just talked about. It's another way to view the same exact material, and by doing that repetitively, it really helps you to remember things. And given that most of you are probably biology majors, this is really helpful. All right, now we get to our discussions. You always want to be clicking into the discussions, just like you're always wanting to read the announcements. As soon as you get into the course, please introduce yourself in this student introductions discussion. And you can always look at whatever the rubric is for a particular assignment. And if you look at the highly proficient category and use it like a checklist, you'll always get full credit. There's almost never grading that is based on like what you say specifically. It's more about sharing knowledge. And so any answer can be the correct answer if it meets these functional criteria and also the topic that we're addressing. You are free to respond to me at any time and get credit for that discussion post. So let's take a look back here in discussions. I'm gonna use this navigation bar because once you get familiar, like going here without reading the whole content is good. It's fast and you have obligations here, right? And so then we'll be right by June 10 into our first content-based discussion. And I want to show you how the instructions will tell you what to write about. And so you will use that. You will read the article, you'll answer these questions, and your response, as you can tell, it's not like what is 2 plus 2, it's more about your opinions and understandings, and you can ask lots of questions here, and you can help each other to respond, because it is required that you respond to at least 2 of your classmates in every discussion. And so doing that right after you write your first post is a great idea because then you get all of the criteria in at the same time. But we want to make sure that you are participating on at least 2 separate days. All right, the initial post is a minimum of 150 words, and often students write a lot more than that in the initial post. But sometimes students in the reply post just say, hey, good job, and that just does not meet the full criteria for a response post. So think about adding information, some little piece of information, or the next step if you're talking about labs, or your follow-up questions, or external references. Add something to those reply posts to get maximum effort there. All right, let's go back to this content. So in each module, you'll address the discussions and notice how you get here and like I don't have my arrows anymore because I gotta stop and do something, but I can get back into sequence in this table of contents. So there's a bunch of front matter about the labs. Read that and understand the expectation, the timeline, all of that. And then in lab 1 in particular, you'll see here that the information is right in the course. Oh, this hasn't integrated yet because we haven't started. I'm making this video before the course actually starts. So that will work for you. And then the second link here takes you to the Dropbox. And so this is where you would submit. And so you could press upload here, but say you're like not in the course working on the lab and you come and you're ready to submit, you can also click assignments and get there that way. And you would just click here and make that submission. And notice all the deadlines are also noted here. These are in the schedule, but this is another way to look at them. And you can see that you have a lab to do every week. You do not need to do one lab per week, however. Once you have your lab kit, I highly recommend, especially in the summer, students think about doing all of these labs, these Module 3 labs, in the same weekend. You know, square away a half a day and just kind of hang out in your sweatpants and get it all done. Because once you like unpack the thing, you get a sense for all the materials, and you can lay them out on a table, get everything organized. That's half the battle. Then you do the labs. I have done labs with students before, and we do multiple labs in the same day so I can make videos. So think about what's the week in June, late June and July that you can do some labs. How about here we go into July, later in July, and then in August, right? You could find 3 days where you really want to devote to this effort, and I think that's the best way to succeed, especially in the summer. Finally, if we go back to content, after you start addressing your lab work, you will get to the quizzes. And every module is designed with these 3 core assignment types. And when you're ready to take the quiz, you will take it from within the course and you will start the quiz. You will have 1 attempt and the attempt is timed, 45 minutes. So if you have accommodations, I'll get those in the email and I will address those. So once you start the quiz, we'll just open this just to take a look. We've got multiple choice questions for you to address. And then we have some open answer questions as well. So that's what a quiz looks like. All right, well, that's all I got for you. I accidentally clicked out. But I hope that you will communicate with me using this tab when you have questions. And if you're stressed, always text me. Reducing stress is very important to me. Okay, I will see you soon on the start of class.